What's up, everybody? Welcome to Building Our Power. This is your girl, Gabby. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you have not, and share it with a friend. Get the knowledge around. Gracias. Thank you very much. So today we're going to talk a little bit about celebrity culture, specifically black celebrity culture, because that's what I've been surrounded by. I am black, and I think their role tends to be a little bit more insidious. So Pharrell recently released a song called Entrepreneur. It was supposed to be like a black empowerment song or whatever. In Jay-Z's lyrics, he had a quote that said, "Black Twitter, what's that? When Jack gets paid, do you? For every one Gucci, support two FUBUs." So pretty much saying, y'all on Twitter getting the white man paid, y'all need to be supporting black business. And after that, he says, "Stop sitting around waiting for folks to throw you a bone. If you can't buy the building, at least stock the shelf. Then keep stacking till you're stocking for yourself. Black nation, black builder, black entrepreneur." All right. Thanks, Jay-Z. So pretty much what he's saying is, and Pharrell, all we have to do to achieve stability, to achieve equality and all that stuff, is start businesses and support each other. All of us can rise from poverty. The only thing stopping you is yourself. And I think especially in the hip-hop music, it's a product of society. This is a capitalistic society. So, the artists that are getting promoted, I wouldn't expect any less. But if we think about some of the rhetoric that comes out of our music, everybody professes to have started from nothing, worked their way up to where they are. Nobody believed in them. Nobody helped them out. Pure will. The American dream. If we just watching TV and Trump say something about the American dream, we all gonna roll our eyes and be like, yeah, right. But sometimes we have a cognitive dissonance that goes on. We know the American dream is a farce, but we get our little handful of black celebrities that have reached upper middle class, even elite status, like Jay-Z and P. Diddy, and all that goes out the window. Well, something that I'm always curious about, because I think it's important when we're thinking about the history of and the reasons why certain artists get to where they are. I always want to figure out what was the big break that made them become this superstar. So in my mind, if these people are coming from nothing and just grinding on their own, when I look on your Wikipedia page, it will say, well, I had, $30,000 in capital that I invested in myself. And I also had like 20,000 extra in the savings. I put this much in marketing. I just kept selling until I had enough resources to hire workers and this, that, and the third. And now I am worth $200 million. But that's not how it goes. If I look at every single one of these people, P. Diddy, Jay-Z, Pharrell, there's always this glitch. Like with Jay-Z, he had an independent company with Dame Dash. They got a distribution deal with Priority Records. A record contract is a loan. You were able to get a loan from a rich millionaire white man to help you push and get your albums out for people to see. P. Diddy, he was an intern at Uptown Records. And from that, he became the talent director and helped develop Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. He was fired and established a new label, Bad Boy, a joint venture with Arista Records. Wait, ain't that Clive Davis, the rich white man? For real. He got signed to Arista Records, a rich white man. Did you really work your way up there? Let's just be real. Are y'all self-made people? Or did it take capital to get you to where you are? Now, I'm not saying it's no talent, but hear me out. There's people in the hood right now, and you know it, that can out-rap Jay-Z, have more charisma than P. Diddy, get way more musical talent than Pharrell, more artistic, creative, directorial vision than Ava. What's the difference? They lacked the opportunity, and they didn't have white capital behind them. These musicians, first of all, they're not being all the way truthful about how they got where they are. The way capitalism works is the more money you get, the more you can invest. The more you invest, the more you recoup. It's just that's why they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. With these huge loans, which are millions of dollars, they were able to become famous and then get merch deals with other corporations, and then get endorsement deals, and then start their own private companies, and then from that money invest into other things. So it's not as easy as grind. If that's the case, everybody in Memphis would be a millionaire at rapping. It's more than that. It's not just talent either. It's talent plus capital. And then when you think about people that are still in a position today where they are super duper rich, they had to end up creating their own businesses in order to have that high amount of wealth. One of the reasons they were able to attain all this wealth to this day while having multiple artists under their labels at multiple amounts of times is they exploited those people. P. Diddy, literally everybody on his record label has a terrible story about how he signed them into just vulturous contracts and is still making money off of them to this day, and they don't see any of it. That's capitalism. These people worked. They were the ones that were singing the songs. They were the ones that had to go out there and perform. But he is hoarding all of the profit. Pharrell, it just came out, Khalees said that Pharrell and the Neptunes, they kept all the royalties, the money from her first album. They signed her in a terrible record contract. Let's talk a little bit more about the rhetoric that they push out and the reason that they push out this rhetoric. In order for them to keep making money in their investments, in their music, in their brand, they have to convince you that capitalism is good. All you have to do is keep working. All you have to do is keep grinding. You can do it too. If you start to question it and think about it, if you start to say, wait, this system is not equal, everybody does not have an equal chance, they start to lose their power. They start to lose money. If the workers that work in those factories that create Sean Combs' clothes say, yeah, we're not getting paid enough, and strike, his business will fail. It's in their best interest that things stay the same. If we start pushing for political candidates like Bernie Sanders or people that are to the left of them that are like, yeah, billionaires shouldn't exist and rich people should be taxed and pay a fair share, that means they're going to lose money. So there's an incentive for them to say, oh, the problem is not rich people. The problem is not that we're hoarding all the wealth and we're working you like a slave and you don't even have health care. That's not the problem. The problem is just that you're not working hard enough. Go back to work because maybe you can become me. And that's why, like, even let's go back to Ava. She made all these movies and stuff saying that the criminal justice system is bad and these cops are corrupt and all that stuff. And she made a lot of money doing it. But when it comes to practice, when regular people who aren't worth $60 million like she is say, yeah, actually, I don't even think we like cops. She's like, oh no, we have to elect the status quo. We have to elect Joe Biden. We have to elect Kamala Harris, because they're not going to raise my taxes, and they're not going to demand that my companies make me pay y'all a fair wage. When the media and everyone brings out celebrities like they did T.I., like they did Killer Mike, when regular people were feeling just angry and tired, and they started destroying property because it didn't belong to them, and they knew that that was the only way to get the government to listen, them losing money. And they brought T.I. over there, and T.I. said, this is our Wakanda. We built this. This is a black city. This is our How many of those people that were rioting own any of that property? How many of those people that were rioting do you think have investments in apartments and houses and businesses and stuff like that? That's you. You don't want them to protest and riot because it's threatening your money, but you're being disingenuous then. And that's what they do. Now, while these artists probably in the beginning had some affinity to our situation, at this point they do not, but they still try to relate to us in that level. But it's at moments like that where the reality of their situation shows. As far as now, a lot of people I never would have expected that were like really conservative or whatever, but working class, they're all just like, yeah, tear it all up. We don't own none of this stuff anyway. They're not gonna listen, no way, do it. The only people that are saying don't tear stuff up are those upper class celebrities, pundits, stuff like that, because that's their buildings you tearing up. That's their property you tearing up. But it's a conflict of interest, because as long as capitalists exist that exploit our labor and are allowed to pay us low wages, that are allowed to work us like a dog and never give us an equal share of the profit, as long as they exist, it's gonna be inequalities. I think personally we just gonna have to get rid of celebrity culture altogether. What do you guys think? You let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. This has been your girl Gabby. Hit us up on that email and that social media page. This has been Building Our Power.